All right. Thanks for joining us here on the Oil and Gas Report, brought to you by Katch Kan. We're at the 2012 Global Petroleum Show in Calgary. Joining us right now is a gentleman, you're in marketing for Katch Kan out of Calgary.
Yes.
Your name is Jim Crough.
Yes.
Before we get to, I guess, talking about safety in the industry and such, which is what Katch Kan is obviously involved in and protecting the environment, let's talk a little bit about you. You've got quite a history when it comes to the oil industry. It runs in the family.
I grew up in Drayton Valley. My mom and dad lived there for 47 years. And he was in the oil patch. He worked for Huber on the oil company side, on the production side. He used to look after batteries and plants and stuff like that. Now he's been retired for 20 years. So and I've been in it since 1978.
Right.
And been doing marketing since 1993.
Well, what drew you into the industry?
I walked out of school one day and never looked back.
Okay. So how did you start out in the industry?
I started with Halliburton in 1978.
Doing what?
Was on a frac crew. Run the chemical truck one day, and then the iron truck one day, and then started running horsepower, and I was there for 3 years.
Okay. And then when did you get into the marketing, advising
1993.
sort of area?
I started.
Okay, so you've been doing that for a while as well. What was it like working out in the field?
Well, when I worked in the field, it was you could get away with wearing no shirt and a pair of shorts and some steel-toed running shoes and a pair of Green Kings to get the job done.
Okay.
So nowadays you got to have coveralls on, you got to have safety glasses, and on it goes. So it's really changed in the last 20 years.
Yeah. Did a lot of people get hurt back then?
I worked on the service rigs for 12 years and I never got hurt.
Right.
In all the years I worked on them, very minimal. Probably 4, maybe 5 times.
Okay.
You know,
that you were aware of.
Pinch finger, you know,
oh, for yourself.
People I worked with.
Yeah.
I never had incidents.
So why do you, if you didn't have incidents, and obviously it was more of a relaxed atmosphere back then, why does safety seem to be so important today?
I think it's with this X generation and the Y generation. I don't know what it is, but when I was growing up, I went to work, and I'm not sure what it is now. That I don't know if they're not focused or what it is, but I know safety is a big part of the industry now, and it's time consuming. It takes a lot of people to make it safe, and with the younger generation coming up now, and you got to teach them. Like I didn't know nothing when I went to work.
Just
and they just threw me to the dogs,
wolves,
and you know, go get it done.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of young people that are good workers, and there's some that it's not made for them. You know, with the computers now and other.
Well, there was one time.
Other trades, you know.
Yeah.
So
there was one time, and probably when you were getting into it, that's where young men went to make money. And it was seen as sort of a rough and tumble wildcat type thing.
Yeah.
And that was also the allure to it. Is that still out there to a certain degree, do you think?
No, the money's there. I mean, you can still make a good dollar. Like when I shut down work in Derrick in 1993, I was making $12 an hour. So they're making $24 an hour now for doing the same job. And conditions are no different than when I worked on them, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
It's just more rules, regulations. You got to have more tickets. So it's more compact, or I don't know how you'd say that. Like we didn't have to have tickets. You know, you had to have your BOP, that was it.
Okay.
So all in all, I think that might even frustrate some people too, that you have to have all these tickets, you know, to
to
get
be able to
along
get
in
out
the
and work out
industry.
there? Yeah.
That might deter some people
Yeah.
too. It's hard to say.
Do you think it's better today?
Oh, safety-wise, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody watches out for everybody, and that's the name of the game. Nobody, when you get there, you want to go home with all your limbs, and fatigue is probably one of the biggest factors in the industry, and that's driving to location, driving back. So that's one of the probably number one.
Right. What about the environment? Because years ago when you were getting into it, the environment probably wasn't a very big concern for many companies.
No. I can remember going with my dad there and lighting a pit on fire at night, burn the oil off. And, I mean, we used to change oil on the service rig and, throw it in the bush. So, no, that's really changed.
So when you look back at those days, do you see them as wrong now, or how do you view them?
Oh, I don't know.
It's just how it was
what
done.
you didn't know, it didn't hurt you, I guess. But no, I mean the environment is very important, and I think it's more and more these days that people are really watching the environment compared to like 30 years ago. That,
Well, you're in marketing for a company that stresses safety and stresses
Yes.
protecting the environment. So quite a turnaround from how it was when you started out.
yeah. Oh yeah, now like Katch Kan there on the drilling rig side and the service rig side, we try to get oil companies to put the system on there to save from putting an environmental footprint on the ground. So if we can help them on cleanup costs and that, we're saving them money.
Absolutely. Jim, thanks very much for your time.
Okay, thank you very much.
We've been chatting with Jim Crough here at the 2012 Global Petroleum Show.